If you guys have time, I'm happy to take you on a tour. This is the sign shop. Watch your step as you go back. It gets pretty industrial. This is the red room. Screen print. It's a little loud back here, but making all the shirts and things. We also make awnings. Everything is made in-house from scratch. So like the aluminum tubing for awnings and the fabric upstairs with the seamstress and a stencil over on the logo for painting a business on. There's a lot of competitors and places where you can get branded marketing materials online. Places, from China, even Amazon nowadays is offering branded swag. But one of the things that makes us really different is the relationship building, really getting to know each individual and their needs, and the confidence in you being able to call and order through Shannon directly, and I've got your back and gonna get you taken care of, and it's gonna be a quality product at the turnaround time that you need and made right here locally by these hands.
Hey, my name's Lori with Launch Point Leader, and we are so excited to be starting our new series going around Murfreesboro, Tennessee, meeting with local business owners, just getting to hear their stories and what motivates them to be in the business.
Hi, my name is Shannon Poss, and I'm the owner of 615 Collection and The Very Idea. I'm super excited to share my story and be meeting with you guys to discuss more of what inspires me and why we're here.
So Shannon, tell me more about your businesses. What do you do?
So 615 Collection started in 2018, and it was inspired by just the square logo. Hopefully you guys have seen Murfreesboro square logo. It was actually on the back of an employee t-shirt of The Very Ideas, and we got interest for other people wanting to represent Murfreesboro in that way, and just sort of snowballed into what it all is today. But The Very Idea has been around since 1990. It was originally owned by the Kellermans, and my husband and I took over in 2016, and it is what it is today.
So what do you think really motivated you to start your own business?
I would say the people, the community, certainly. People's just desire to support each other and represent Murfreesboro. If it weren't for customers asking for that simple design, this would have never happened. I have the community to thank for even wanting to support small business and us and Murfreesboro in general. Overall, I feel like there's a whole passion in creating things and making things and being a part of really getting to design and create and seeing other people support it and like it. So that continues to fuel me into being a business owner.
So obviously The Very Idea services so many businesses around our community, and so many people wear the 615 collection, and they want to know the owner and what's behind that. So what do you think really sets you apart and has launched you into being a successful entrepreneur? What makes you different?
So the truth is I'm really torn between saying two things. One, I feel like I'm not necessarily any different from the next person, other than the willingness to try or being okay with failing, so to say. But the other side of it too is that we are different, and it's those differences or passions that do help kind of catapult the business in its own way.
So throughout your time as a business owner, what do you think are some of the biggest times and pivots you've had to make in your business strategy?
Definitely COVID.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna not have that as a pivotal moment in business. But there's lots of pivots in business in general, and the ability to roll with things is super important. There's been a lot of differences from 8 years ago or 5 years ago or 3 years ago or even now. I think that social media is huge. That's been a big change. There was zero marketing in social media in 1990 when The Very Idea started, and I do feel like we have a good online presence when it comes to social media now, so that's been super huge, and it's forever changing.
Absolutely.
Too. It's impossible to even keep up with all of it. But really just listening to customers and continuing to grow, continuing to learn, and things that I don't know much about, allowing myself to submerge into learning more and developing, new techniques with everything, products and, creativity and different artists and supporting other local artists and, the social media thing, all kinds of stuff. There's like
Always.
every day is a challenge.
Absolutely.
Every day is different. Every day there's something to learn or gain or a new direction to take.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone that's just getting ready or maybe just started their own journey to become an entrepreneur or start their own business?
I think the most important thing is staying true to yourself. I think people hear that a lot, but they don't really let it sink in, and it's so important to think about really the why.
Yeah.
And why people start a business, buy a business, create a product, start a podcast. It's, what was fueling you to begin with, and really trying to stay true to your passion so that it's not work and it is enjoyable and it is fun. And when you're faced with challenges, you take them with a sense of pride and I'm going to overcome this and what can I do versus, why am I failing or, being negative about it. So
yeah, such an important mindset to have.
Yeah.
So I think one of the coolest things I see is every time I come and visit the store, I see the same people working. It just has a great atmosphere. And I think that team is something that really sets your business up for success. So can you share a little bit more about how you build that team and sustain it?
Yes, absolutely. You're right, and I wouldn't be here, period, without every single person.
Yeah.
We're all a family, we're key players, and it is really important to have great people. We are only as good as our people.
Yeah.
And each person here has a role and a passion for what they do and loves to be here. It is still work and there are still hard days, certainly, but we've created a family where we all like to come to work and be here and continue working together as a team. We're all on the same team, and that is super important to have good people. It is really hard to find good people. We do say that we're a family business, and I do have several family members that work here, but every single person that's not by blood is still family. We've had people that were here for 13 years, 7 years, 9 years, 6 years, 1 year. And I hope that every single person, even if they don't stay here for life, they're a mark on our business just as much as we're a mark on their life.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I just try to find people who are just as caring and passionate about, what we're doing and being here.
What do you think is your favorite part about being a business owner?
That is a loaded question.
Absolutely it is.
And there are lots of things to consider when being a business owner. I like the flexibility. I like being able to take care of my family and my kids and leave when I need to leave. The obvious things of being your own boss. I think that everybody here works very independently and they are all their own boss. So it kind of is like entrepreneurials all over here. We all, kind of make our own schedule and do our own thing and have flexibility of phones and family and everything like that. But it's not as easy and as wonderful all the time.
Sure.
There's a lot of wheels constantly turning that need greasing and fixing and, a lot more to it than just, being your own boss and
Right.
stuff. But there are lots of very rewarding things as well. And yeah, I would say creating my own, happy work-life balance where, I'm visiting with my family here at work, my work family, and then I, go home and be with my home family. But there's a lot to be thankful for when it comes to, owning your own business for sure.
So what do you think is your favorite part about the Murfreesboro business community?
I feel like we're all supporters of each other. I feel like we're super close knit. There's a lot of people who have been here for a long time and really watched Murfreesboro grow. It's one of the most rewarding parts about this business is being a part of community growth and other businesses growing. We have plenty of clients that come in and can't get an order of shirts because our minimum's 24, and then fast forward a couple years later and you're seeing them order hundreds of shirts.
Yeah.
And watching their little kids grow up over the years, and just being a part of people who are so positive and supportive.
Yeah.
Really is huge. Even our competitors are supporters, and I'm willing to help any of them too. It's a totally different, world being in Murfreesboro, where people truly do care about each other and are here to help grow and make Murfreesboro better.
Yeah, so as a new business owner myself, I think it's really fascinating and inspiring to get to have these conversations with really established and successful entrepreneurs. And so I think, what do you think is the defining factor maybe within your first year of owning your business? What do you think made you go, oh, this is going to be a success, I'm going to make it?
I don't know that I thought that ever, honestly. It's different with the very idea because it was already an established business. But for 615 Collection, I don't know that I ever had a moment where I was like, this is going to be great. This is going to be huge. This is going to be successful. And even now, still, there's always, the demons, that want to tear you down. And 615 has faced many challenges. Many people who have tried to rip it off, including like big companies like Palmetto Moon and tons of other situations, and former employees that tried to completely start this exact same business. So I'm constantly still, in that mindset of what is the next thing, and where do I go from here? And always our views are different than other people's views of it too. So I love to hear you guys say, a successful business, because you kind of always think in the back of your mind, like.
I think that's really encouraging for people too. Of it's okay to not feel like you've made it or still for the next thing. That's what keeps you fired and fueled up.
Absolutely.
And everyone's feeling that way. And so that's how we can support each other, is speaking about these types of things and not just keeping it so internal. So I really appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage anybody to start their own business and try. There's many things that I've done and tried that weren't successful. And, sometimes you don't know what's going to stick. And that's why I talk a lot about your passion and your personality and staying true to yourself, because I feel like that's it. That's the winning thing. That's the difference, is, being you wholly, fully, whether people accept it or not, or love it or not. And then, you can't fail because you did you and you stuck with what you wanted. And if you love it, then it's great.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about kind of facing that fear of failure and being able to push through that as an entrepreneur. And I know what drives a lot of people to become their own business owners, really kind of that undercurrent of perfectionism and always wanting to get it right. So how do you kind of match those two things and still strive for excellence, always for the best thing, but also when you fail, accepting that and being able to push through?
That's a really great question.
It's big, right?
I've failed plenty in other business ideas or adventures, or even products, different designs or logos. Not everybody loves everything as much as you think they're going to, or as much as you do. But it's having things on sale, or just like kind of the catapult moment of how do I turn this into something different, and really listening to your audience or your people, of what they like, what are they listening to? What are
Right.
they purchasing? What are they, responding to? What are they eating? I don't know, whatever the business
Sure.
is, people may not, talk a lot, but if you really look and listen, they're saying a lot.
That's good.
Yeah.
So for those listening, we are Launch Point Leader, and as I said, we're starting this series meeting with local business owners in Murfreesboro, but we also just have a passion for helping small businesses establish and build their leadership structure. We believe that a great business is built by great leaders, and so we want to help you and your team expand and build that.